The massive alien warship appeared in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud blocking the sun. Admiral Vex Thor stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking down at the blue planet with cold eyes. Behind him, 200 warships waited in perfect formation. Each ship was 3 times larger than anything humans had ever built. "Send the message," Vex Thor ordered his communications officer. On Earth's orbital station, alarms rang throughout the corridors. Commander Jake Morrison rushed to the main control room, where dozens of technicians stared at their screens in horror. The alien fleet had appeared without warning, their ships far more advanced than anything Earth had seen before. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission," reported Lieutenant Kate Brooks, her voice shaking. "Put it on screen," Jake said. Admiral Vex Thor's reptilian face filled the main display. His yellow eyes showed no emotion as he spoke in perfect English. "People of Earth, I am Admiral Vex Thor of the Zephyrian Empire. Your planet has been chosen for integration into our great civilization." Jake felt his blood turn cold. He had heard stories about the Zephyrian Empire from other species. They conquered worlds with ruthless efficiency, turning entire civilizations into slaves. "You have 72 hours to surrender completely," Vex Thor continued. "Disarm all your military forces. Prepare your leaders for transport to our capital world. Any resistance will result in the total destruction of your planet. We have conquered 47 worlds using this same process. None have ever refused our generous offer." The transmission ended, leaving the control room in stunned silence. Jake immediately contacted Earth's government. Within an hour, President Jake Morrison called an emergency meeting in the underground bunker beneath Washington. The president shared the same first name as the orbital commander, but that was where the similarities ended. President Morrison was a calm man who had led Earth through many crises, but nothing like this. Defense Secretary Lisa Carter entered the meeting room carrying a thick folder. Her face was pale, and her hands trembled slightly. "Mr. President, I have the analysis of their fleet." She opened the folder and spread photographs across the table. Each image showed massive alien warships bristling with weapons. "Our best estimates show they have over 200 ships. Each one is armed with plasma cannons that could level entire cities. Our intelligence suggests their shields are nearly impossible to penetrate with our current weapons." General Pete Sullivan, head of Earth's military forces, shook his head grimly. "Sir, our entire fleet consists of 30 frigates and 12 cruisers. Most of them are over 20 years old. We've been focusing on exploration and trade, not warfare. Against this force, we wouldn't last an hour." President Morrison looked around the table at his advisors. Each face showed the same expression of hopelessness. Earth's military had never been designed to fight a war like this. They had always assumed that any alien contact would be peaceful. "What about our allies?" asked Secretary Carter. "Can any of the other species help us?" Admiral Sam Hayes, who had been quiet until now, finally spoke. "The Centaurians are too far away. The Vegan Republic is already under Zephyrian control. The few free worlds left in this sector are hiding, hoping the Empire doesn't notice them." President Morrison stood and walked to the window. Even though they were underground, he could imagine the alien fleet hanging over Earth like vultures, waiting for death. "So we're alone," he said quietly. "Not exactly alone, sir," came a voice from the back of the room. Everyone turned to see Admiral Sam Hayes looking directly at General Sullivan. The two men exchanged a meaningful glance as if they shared a secret that no one else knew about. "What do you mean?" President Morrison asked. Admiral Hayes hesitated. "Sir, there are certain classified projects that might be relevant to our situation, but I need your direct authorization to discuss them." General Sullivan nodded slowly. "The Admiral is correct, Mr. President. There are things we haven't told you about, things that could change this entire situation." Secretary Carter frowned. "What kind of things?" "I have top security clearance. I should know about any major military projects." "Not this one," Admiral Hayes said quietly. "This project is so classified that only 5 people on Earth know about it. The President must give direct authorization before we can brief anyone else." President Morrison studied the two military leaders carefully. He had known both men for years and trusted them completely. If they said there was hope, maybe there really was. Meanwhile, high above Earth, Admiral Vexthor was reviewing reports from his scouts. The alien commander felt confident about this conquest. Earth's military looked even weaker than most worlds the Empire had defeated. "Commander Zach Lin, what is the status of their defenses?" Vexthor asked. The younger alien checked his datapad. "Sir, they have 42 military vessels total. All of them use primitive nuclear engines and basic projectile weapons. Their orbital stations are lightly armed. This should be one of our easiest victories." Vexthor smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Excellent. Begin standard intimidation. Procedures. Destroy a few of their outer stations to show them we mean business. That usually convinces them to surrender quickly." Back in the bunker, President Morrison made his decision. "Admiral Hayes, General Sullivan, you have my full authorization. Tell me about this classified project." The two men looked at each other one more time. Admiral Hayes took a deep breath. "Sir, what would you say if I told you that Earth's real? Military strength has been hidden for the past 15 years. What if everything the aliens think they know about us is completely wrong?" The room fell silent. President Morrison leaned forward in his chair. "I would say that you better start talking right now." Admiral Hayes walked to the front of the room and activated the large wall screen. The display showed what looked like empty space, with Jupiter's moon Europa visible in the distance. 15 years ago, we found something in the outer solar system," Hayes began. "A probe from an unknown civilization crashed on one of Saturn's moons. Inside that probe, we discovered technology beyond our wildest dreams." President Morrison leaned forward. "What kind of technology?" General Sullivan pressed a button on his remote. The screen changed to show technical drawings and photographs of strange metal components. "Advanced materials, sir, energy systems, that make our nuclear reactors look like candles, and most importantly, blueprints for weapons and ships." Secretary Carter stared at the images. "Why wasn't I told about this?" "Because we weren't sure it would work," Hayes replied. "The technology was so advanced that our best scientists spent years just trying to understand the basics. We decided to keep it secret until we knew for certain what we could build." The screen changed again, showing construction footage from what appeared to be a massive underground facility. Workers in environmental suits moved around enormous pieces of machinery. "We built a secret shipyard beneath Europa's ice," General Sullivan explained. "The moon's frozen surface hides all the energy signatures from our construction. We've been working there for 12 years, building something the galaxy has never seen before." President Morrison watched the footage with growing amazement. The construction site was enormous, far larger than anything Earth had ever built. "What exactly did you build?" Admiral Hayes smiled for the first time since the meeting began. "We built a supercarrier, sir, the largest warship in human history. We call it the UES Titan." The screen filled with an image that made everyone in the room gasp. The ship was massive beyond belief, stretching for miles in every direction. Its hull gleamed with an otherworldly silver color, and strange blue lights pulsed along its surface. "How big is it?" whispered Secretary Carter. 15 kilometers long, sir," Hayes answered. "It carries 500 of the most advanced fighter craft ever built. Each fighter is more powerful than our best cruiser. The Titan itself is armed with weapons that could destroy an entire fleet." President Morrison stood up slowly. "And you're certain this will work against the aliens?" General Sullivan nodded confidently. "Sir, the technology we found came from a civilization far more advanced than the Zephyrians. We've tested every system. The Titan is ready for battle." High above Earth, Admiral Vexthor was growing impatient. He had given the humans their ultimatum, and now it was time to show them the consequences of resistance. "Target their orbital mining station," he ordered. "Destroy it completely." The Zephyrian flagship's main cannon charged with deadly energy. A beam of superheated plasma lanced out and struck the human station. The explosion could be seen from Earth's surface, a bright flash in the night sky. "Send another message to the planet," Vexthor commanded. "Tell them they have 48 hours remaining." Back in the bunker, reports of the station's destruction reached the emergency meeting. 23 people had died in the attack, and the aliens had made their point clear. "We need to activate the Titan now. urged General Sullivan. Admiral Hayes checked his watch. Captain Turner is already beginning the activation sequence, but sir, we need to be very careful about this. If we move too early, the aliens might detect what we're doing and call for reinforcements. President Morrison looked at the tactical display showing the alien fleet's position. How long do you need? 24 hours minimum, Hayes replied. The Titan has been in hibernation mode to avoid detection. Bringing all systems online takes time, especially the main weapons. Meanwhile, in the hidden shipyard beneath Europa's ice, Captain Alex Turner received the encrypted message he had been waiting for. The tall, quiet man had commanded the Titan project for 3 years, overseeing the final construction and testing phases. Maria, begin the awakening sequence, he ordered his chief engineer. Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez had worked on the alien technology longer than anyone else. She understood the strange energy systems better than the original scientists who had discovered them. Quantum drives coming online, Captain. Estimated time to full power is 18 hours. Throughout the massive ship, dormant systems began to activate. Lights flickered on in corridors that had been dark for months. The Titan's artificial intelligence, built using hybrid human and alien technology, began running diagnostics on every system. Dr. Ben Parker, head of the Xenotechnology research team, monitored the weapon systems from his laboratory deep inside the ship. The weapons were based on principles that human science had never encountered before. Instead of using bullets or energy beams, they manipulated gravity and space itself. All weapon systems showing green, Captain, Dr. Parker reported. The gravitational lance is charging normally. Fighter bay doors are responding to commands. Captain Turner walked to the bridge's main viewport. Through the thick ice above them, he could barely see the stars. Soon the Titan would break free from its hiding place and shock the galaxy. On the bridge, Lieutenant Commander Kate Brooks coordinated with Earth's remaining fleet. The few ships that humanity had openly displayed were moving into defensive positions around the planet. They would serve as decoys, making the aliens think they knew everything about Earth's military strength. Captain, incoming message from Admiral Hayes, reported Communications Officer Ryan Bell. Captain Turner activated the secure channel. Admiral Hayes appeared on the screen, looking tired but determined. Alex, the aliens just destroyed Mining Station 7. They're serious about their ultimatum. We'll be ready, sir, Turner replied. The Titan will emerge in 18 hours. Make sure your people are prepared for what happens next. Admiral Hayes nodded. The President has authorized full combat engagement. Show them what humanity can. Really do. Back on the alien flagship, Commander Zach Lynn was reviewing sensor data from the Jupiter system. Strange energy readings were coming from Europa, but they looked like natural geological activity. Sir, should we investigate these readings? He asked Admiral Vexthor. The alien commander glanced at the data dismissively. Ignore it. These primitive worlds always have unusual energy signatures. Focus on monitoring their pathetic fleet movements. As Europa's long day cycle continued, deep beneath the ice, the most powerful warship ever built by human hands slowly awakened from its slumber. The galaxy would never be the same. 24 hours remained until the alien deadline when Captain Turner gave the order that would change everything. Begin emergent sequence, he commanded from the Titan's bridge. Deep beneath Europa's frozen surface, massive machines started their work. Thermal charges melted through kilometers of ice that had hidden the Supercarrier for years. The process created enormous clouds of steam that rose toward the surface like geysers. Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez monitored the breakthrough from her control station. Ice depth now at 2 kilometers, Captain. Hull integrity holding at 100%. We should reach the surface in 30 minutes. Throughout the ship, crew members felt the vibrations as the Titan slowly rose from its icy prison. Many of them had never seen their ship from the outside. They had lived and worked in the hidden facility for years, knowing that someday they would emerge to defend Earth. Lieutenant Commander Kate Brooks coordinated with Earth's visible fleet. The aging frigates and cruisers were moving into what appeared to be a desperate defensive formation around the planet. To any observer, it looked like humanity was making a last stand with obsolete weapons. Admiral Hayes, this is Titan Control, Kate reported over the secure channel. We are go for emergence. ETA to surface is 28 minutes. On Earth, Admiral Hayes watched the tactical display with growing tension. The alien fleet had moved closer to the planet, clearly preparing for their final assault. Time was running out. Understood, Titan. All Earth forces are in position. Make it count. High above Europa, the first signs of the Titan's emergence became visible. Cracks appeared in the moon's ice sheet, spreading outward like a spider web. Steam and gas erupted from the growing fissures, creating a spectacular display that would have been beautiful under different circumstances. The Titan's massive hull finally broke through the ice with a thunderous crack that echoed across the airless moon. Ice chunks the size of buildings flew away from the ship as it continued to rise. The Supercarrier's true size became apparent as it cleared the surface completely. "My God," whispered Dr. Ben Parker as he watched from the observation deck. "We actually did it." The ship's hull gleamed in the sunlight, its alien hybrid materials reflecting light in ways that seemed almost magical. Blue energy coursed along channels built into the outer armor, and the massive hangar bays were already beginning to open. Captain Turner stood on the bridge, watching his ship emerge into space for the first time. "All stations, report status." "Weapons. Systems fully operational," reported Dr. Parker. "Engines showing full power," added Maria Rodriguez. "Fighter squadrons ready for launch," confirmed Squadron Leader Ryan Bell. But the Titan's emergence had not gone unnoticed. Automated sensors throughout the solar system detected the massive energy signature, and the readings were transmitted to monitoring stations on Earth and Mars. On the alien flagship, Commander Zach Lynn was reviewing routine sensor data when an alert flashed on his screen. "Sir, we're detecting unusual activity in the Jupiter system." Admiral Vexthor was planning the final assault on Earth when the interruption came. "What kind of activity?" "Large energy readings from Europa, sir." "Much larger than anything we've seen from human technology." The alien commander looked at the data with mild interest. "Probably a mining operation or power plant. These humans use primitive nuclear technology that creates massive energy waste." "Sir, the readings are unlike anything in our database." Zach Lynn persisted. "The energy patterns don't match any known human technology." Vexthor dismissed the concern with a wave of his clawed hand. "Commander, we have conquered 47 worlds. I have seen every type of primitive technology these species can produce. Focus on the upcoming assault." Back on the Titan, Captain Turner was receiving reports from all departments. The ship's systems were functioning perfectly, but they still needed to reach Earth before the aliens attacked. "Navigation, set course for Earth, maximum speed." "Aye, Captain. Estimated travel time at full power is 16 hours. Turner frowned. That would put them at Earth with only 8 hours to spare before the alien deadline. It would be cutting things very close. Meanwhile, Earth's defense forces were making their own preparations. The visible fleet had been arranged to look as threatening as possible, despite everyone knowing it was no match for the alien armada. Colonel Steve Martinez was aboard the cruiser Hartford, one of Earth's most modern ships. He watched the alien fleet through his binoculars and felt a chill run down his spine. Each alien vessel was massive, bristling with weapons that could destroy his ship with a single shot. "Sir, incoming transmission from Fleet Command," reported his communications officer. Admiral Hayes appeared on the screen looking grim but determined. "All ships, this is Fleet Command. Maintain current positions and prepare for engagement. Help is coming, but we need to buy time." Colonel Martinez wondered what kind of help could possibly arrive in time to make a difference. The aliens had overwhelming firepower and numbers, but he had served in Earth's military for 20 years, and he would follow orders no matter what. On the Titan, preparations for battle continued at a frantic pace. Commander Amy Foster supervised the final checks on the fighter squadrons. Each pilot had trained for years using simulators, but none had ever flown their advanced craft in real combat. "All squadrons report ready for launch," she told Captain Turner. "Pilots are eager to show these aliens what human engineering can." Major Kelly Davis led the first fighter squadron. She had been one of the test pilots for the new craft, and she knew their capabilities better than anyone. The fighters were fast, maneuverable, and armed with weapons based on the same alien technology that powered the Titan itself. "Remember your training," she told her pilots over the comm system. "These aliens think we're primitive. Let's show them how wrong they are." As the Titan raced toward Earth, its crew made final preparations for the battle that would determine humanity's fate. In the ship's medical bay, Dr. Paul Kim prepared for casualties. In the armory, weapons technicians loaded the last of the exotic ammunition. In the engine rooms, technicians monitored the quantum drives that pushed the massive ship through space faster than any human vessel had ever traveled. Captain Turner stood at the bridge's main viewport, watching the stars stream past. Soon those same stars would witness a battle that would shock the galaxy. The aliens thought they knew everything about human military strength. They were about to learn how wrong they had been. "Captain, incoming message from Earth," reported the communications officer. President Morrison appeared on the screen, looking tired but hopeful. "Captain Turner, the entire planet is counting on you and your crew. Show them what humanity is truly capable of." Turner nodded gravely. "We won't let you down, sir. The Titan is ready for battle." The Titan arrived at Earth with only 2 hours left before the alien deadline. Captain Turner watched through the bridge windows as his massive ship took position behind the planet's moon, hidden from the alien fleet's sensors. "All fighters ready for launch," reported Commander Amy Foster. "Pilots are in their cockpits waiting for your order." "Weapon systems charged and ready," added Dr. Ben Parker from the Weapons Control Center. Turner studied the tactical display showing the positions of both fleets. Earth's small force of frigates and cruisers looked pitiful compared to the alien armada, but that was exactly what they wanted the enemy to believe. "This is it," Turner announced to his crew. "Today we show the galaxy that humanity will not bow down to any empire." High above Earth, Admiral Vexthor was growing impatient. The deadline was approaching, and the humans had made no attempt to surrender. It was time to demonstrate the full power of the Zephyrian Empire. "All ships prepare for assault," he commanded. "Target their orbital defenses first. I want those humans to watch their protections crumble before we destroy their cities." The alien fleet moved into attack formation. 200 warships arranged themselves in a deadly pattern that had conquered dozens of worlds. Their weapons began to charge with lethal energy. On Earth's orbital station, alarms rang throughout the yaw corridors. Commander Jake Morrison watched the alien ships approach and felt his heart pound with fear and anticipation. "All stations, this is command," he broadcast to Earth's fleet. "Remember, we just need to hold them for a few minutes. Help is coming." The battle began when Admiral Vexthor gave the order to fire. Hundreds of plasma beams lanced out from the alien ships, targeting Earth's orbital platforms and the small human fleet. Colonel Steve Martinez watched from his cruiser as the alien weapons approached. The energy beams struck his ship's shields, but to his amazement, the shields held longer than expected. Earth's engineers had made some improvements to their defenses, though not enough to win this fight. "Return fire," Martinez ordered. "Make them pay for every shot." Earth's ships fired back with everything they had. Nuclear missiles and particle beams reached out toward the alien fleet, but most of the weapons were absorbed by the enemy's superior shields. A few lucky shots managed to damage alien hull plating, but nothing more. Admiral Vexthor smiled as he watched the pathetic human resistance. "Is this the best they can do? Their weapons are like insects trying to sting a dragon." But the alien commander's confidence was about to be shattered. Captain Turner chose that exact moment to bring the Titan around the moon's far side. The massive supercarrier appeared on the alien sensors like a ghost, materializing from thin air. Its 15-kilometer length dwarfed even the largest alien dreadnoughts, and its hull glowed with energy patterns that no Zephyrian had ever seen before. "What is that?" gasped Commander Zach Lynn, staring at his sensor readings in disbelief. "Admiral," Vexthor turned to look at the tactical display, and his yellow eyes widened in shock. "Impossible. The humans don't have ships that large." "Sir, the energy readings from that vessel are off our scales," Zach Lynn reported, his voice shaking. "It's not using any technology in our database." On the Titan's bridge, Captain Turner opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. "This is Captain Alex Turner of the UES Titan. You have 30 seconds to cease fire and withdraw, or we will demonstrate why attacking Earth was the worst mistake your empire has ever made." Admiral Vex Thor recovered from his initial shock and snarled at the screen. "One ship, no matter how large, cannot defeat an entire fleet. All vessels, target that monstrosity. Destroy it immediately." 50 alien ships turned their weapons toward the Titan and fired simultaneously. The combined firepower was enough to crack a planet's crust, but when the energy beams hit the Supercarrier, something incredible happened. The Titan's shields didn't just absorb the attack. They captured the energy and redirected it back at the attackers. The alien plasma beams bounced off the carrier's hull like light reflecting from a mirror, but amplified to twice their original power. 3 alien destroyers vanished in brilliant explosions as their own weapons were turned against them. The remaining alien ships stopped firing, their crews staring in terror at technology they couldn't understand. "Now it's our turn," Captain Turner said quietly. "Launch all fighters." The Titan's massive hangar bays opened like the mouth of some ancient sea monster. 500 advanced fighters poured out in perfect formation, each one piloted by Earth's best aviators. Major Kelly Davis led the first squadron as they streaked toward the alien fleet at impossible speeds. Her fighter was smaller than a traditional spacecraft but packed with weapons that could punch through any shield. "Remember your training," she told her pilots. "Fast, hard, and don't give them time to think." The human fighters hit the alien formation like a swarm of angry hornets. Their weapons, based on the same technology that powered the Titan, tore through alien armor as if it were paper. Ship after ship exploded as the Earth pilots showed skills that the aliens had never encountered. Admiral Vex Thor watched in horror as his mighty fleet was torn apart by fighters that moved like nothing he had ever seen. How is this possible? Where did they get this technology? Commander Ryan Bell coordinated the fighter attack from the Titan's Flight Control Center. 2nd Squadron, target their command ships. 3rd Squadron, take out their weapon platforms. The battle that the aliens had expected to win in minutes was turning into a nightmare. Earth's fighters danced between the massive alien ships, their weapons finding weak spots that Zephyrian engineers had thought were impregnable. But Captain Turner wasn't finished yet. The Titan's main weapon, the gravitational lance, had been charging since the battle began. Now it was ready to demonstrate the true power of human engineering. "Target their flagship," Turner ordered Dr. Ben Parker. The weapon fired without sound or flash, but its effects were devastating. A beam of twisted space-time reached out from the Titan and struck Admiral Vex Thor's massive dreadnought. The alien ship's shields collapsed instantly, and its hull began to buckle and twist as gravity itself was turned into a weapon. "Impossible," whispered Vex Thor, as his flagship's armor plating peeled away like the skin of an orange. "No civilization has mastered gravitational manipulation." Throughout the alien fleet, panic began to spread. Ships that had never known defeat were being destroyed by technology they couldn't comprehend. Captains who had conquered worlds were calling for retreat. Ground Controller. Lisa Johnson watched from Earth's surface as alien ships began to explode in the darkness above. Each flash of light represented another victory for humanity, another step toward freedom. "Captain," reported Lieutenant Commander Kate Brooks from the Titan's bridge, "enemy fleet is breaking formation. They're trying to retreat." Turner studied the tactical display. More than half the alien ships had been destroyed or damaged beyond repair. The mighty Zephyrian fleet was in full retreat, their arrogance replaced by terror. "Let some of them escape," Turner decided. "They need to spread the word about what happened here today." The battle that was supposed to end with Earth's surrender instead ended with the most powerful fleet in the galaxy running for their lives, leaving behind the wreckage of their shattered pride. The silence after the battle was deafening. Admiral Vex Thor sat in his damaged command chair, staring at the tactical display that showed the destruction of his once mighty fleet. Of the 200 ships he had brought to conquer Earth, only 30 remained functional, and most of those were badly damaged. Captain Turner opened a communication channel to the alien flagship. "Admiral Vex Thor, this is your final warning. Withdraw your remaining ships immediately or we will finish what you started. The alien commander looked at the screen with defeat in his yellow eyes. His flagship was barely holding together after the gravitational weapon had torn through its hull like tissue paper. Around him, his crew worked frantically to keep life support systems operating. How? Vexthor asked quietly. How did you develop such technology? Our intelligence reported that humans were a primitive species with basic nuclear weapons. Turner smiled coldly. Your intelligence was exactly what we wanted you to believe. Humanity learned long ago that the best defense is to let your enemies underestimate you. On Earth, President Morrison watched the aftermath from the underground bunker. The planet's orbital space was filled with debris from destroyed alien ships, but not a single human vessel had been lost. It was the most complete military victory in Earth's history. Mr. President, said Admiral Hayes, we're receiving surrender requests from 17 alien ships. The rest are trying to retreat toward the edge of the solar system. Let them go, Morrison decided, but first I want to address their leadership. Meanwhile, throughout the Zephyrian Empire, news of the defeat was spreading like wildfire. On the capital world of Zephyr Prime, Emperor Korthax received the impossible report from Admiral Vexthor's surviving communications officer. The entire Third Fleet destroyed by a single human ship? The Emperor hissed in disbelief. This is impossible. Humans are barely capable of interstellar travel. Your Majesty, I witnessed it myself. The communications officer replied, his voice shaking. Their weapons use technology we have never seen. Their fighters move faster than our sensors can track. They turned our own weapons against us. Back at Earth, Captain Turner stood on the Titan's observation deck with his senior officers. Bedtime, massive supercarrier floated peacefully in space, its job complete. Around them, Earth's small fleet was beginning rescue operations for alien survivors. Captain, said Commander Amy Foster, long-range sensors are detecting multiple ships approaching from different directions. They're not Zephyrian. Dr. Ben Parker checked his instruments. The energy signatures match Centaurian, Vegan, and Altarian vessels. Word is spreading fast. Turner nodded. He had expected this. News of the battle would reach every corner of the galaxy within days. Earth had just announced itself as a major power, and everyone would want to know more. President Morrison decided it was time to reveal the full truth. He called an emergency session of the Galactic Council, the loose organization that governed relations between starfaring civilizations. Fellow beings, Morrison began, speaking to representatives from dozens of worlds, today marks a new chapter in galactic history. For too long, the Zephyrian Empire has terrorized peaceful civilizations. Today, that reign of terror ends. The Galactic Council chamber erupted in shocked whispers. Many of the representatives had lost their own worlds to Zephyrian conquest, and had assumed Earth would suffer the same fate. Intelligence Director Tom Wilson stepped forward to address the assembly. I am authorized to reveal that Earth has been secretly preparing for this moment for 15 years. The ships you have seen today represent only a fraction of our true military capability. The revelation sent shockwaves through the gathered representatives. Wilson activated a holographic display showing 7 more massive shipyards hidden throughout the solar system, each one building supercarriers identical to the Titan. The UES Titan has 7 sister ships currently under construction, Wilson announced. Within 2 years, Earth will possess the most powerful fleet in the known galaxy. On the alien worlds that had been conquered by the Zephyrian Empire, the news brought hope for the first time in decades. Resistance movements that had been crushed began to reorganize. Planets that had surrendered without fighting started to reconsider their positions. Captain Turner received a priority message from Earth's government. President Morrison appeared on the screen, looking tired but satisfied. Captain, I'm promoting you to Admiral and placing you in command of the new Solar Defense Fleet. Your actions today have changed the balance of power in this galaxy. Turner accepted the promotion with quiet dignity. Thank you, sir. The Titan and her crew are ready for whatever comes next. But the biggest revelation was yet to come. Dr. Ben Parker had been analyzing the alien technology they had captured during the battle, and what he discovered would shock even Earth's leaders. President Morrison, Parker reported from his laboratory. "I've made an incredible discovery about the technology we used to build the Titan." Morrison appeared on the secure communication channel. "What kind of discovery, Doctor?" Parker took a deep breath. "Sir, the alien probe we found 15 years ago wasn't from an unknown civilization. The quantum signatures in the technology match our own DNA patterns. The probe came from Earth's future." The implication was staggering. Humanity hadn't just discovered alien technology. They had discovered their own future technology, sent back in time to ensure their survival. "The artifacts were left by our own descendants," Parker continued. "They traveled back in time to give us the tools we needed to defeat the Zephyrian Empire and claim our place among the stars." President Morrison stared at the screen in amazement. "You're telling me that we saved ourselves?" "In a manner of speaking, yes, sir. Our future selves knew about the Zephyrian threat and made sure we were prepared for it." As the news of humanity's victory spread throughout the galaxy, 3 more alien empires sent diplomatic envoys to Earth requesting peaceful contact. The Andromedan Consortium, the Orion Alliance, and the Magellanic Federation all wanted to establish trade and military agreements with the new galactic power. Admiral Turner, now commanding the most feared ship in the galaxy, stood once again on the Titan's observation deck. Earth floated peacefully below, no longer threatened by alien invasion. The blue planet that had seemed so vulnerable just days before was now the center of a new galactic order. Commander Amy Foster joined him at the viewport. "Admiral, what do you think happens next?" Turner smiled as he watched ships from a dozen different civilizations arriving to pay their respects to humanity. "I think the galaxy just became a much more interesting place." The Zephyrian Empire, which had ruled through fear for centuries, began to crumble as their subject worlds declared independence. Admiral Vexthor, his career and empire in ruins, would spend the rest of his life wondering how he had so completely underestimated the humans. Earth had hidden its true strength for 15 years, letting the galaxy believe humanity was weak and primitive. Now that the secret was revealed, no empire would ever again make the mistake of underestimating the species that had mastered time itself to ensure their own survival. The age of human expansion into the galaxy had begun,